So this is the last chapter in the foundations on how you can start an Airbnb, and today I'm basically gonna share exactly what you need to start an Airbnb. Much as most of this is general, I will put so much focus in Uganda because that is where all my Airbnbs are. However, you can adjust them and check out with your country and see if there's anything else that is needed in the checklist. First on my checklist is a space. The second one, you need guests. The third one, you need a platform. Airbnb just needs three things: that space, the people want to stay, and a platform to connect them. Everything else just helps you do this better. Let's start with the space. The space could basically be your house or your rented house or someone else's property. So I mentioned this in the different models of Airbnb business. You can start renting from your house or a room in your house, or you can rent a place and furnish it, or you can partner with someone else who has a property that is vacant and manage for them. So once you get a space, you are gonna do the basic setup. The basic setup, that means the bed. If you're renting out a room, make sure that you set up that room well, that has bed, beddings, and just basic essentials. Make sure that you have good furnishing and also electricity. That is very important. And then also internet. That is also very important. You also need really clean space, so you don't need a lot of luxury to start. Just make sure that your house has the basics: bed, bathroom, power, and if possible, internet. And let it be clean and simple. That is just enough to begin with. And once you have your basic setup, you're gonna create a good listing. You're gonna take pictures, you're gonna write description about your space, and then you're gonna set the price per night. That is basically what guests are gonna see before they book your place. Once you have that document ready, you can go ahead and choose a platform. Now, our key platform is Airbnb. And then once you list on Airbnb, you can just use this Airbnb link and list it on booking.com. And also you can use this same Airbnb link to list it on VRBO. So what you need is you just have to create your account, you set up your calendar, and put your listing up and running. I have a detailed tutorial on how to list your property on Airbnb. Be sure that you check it out and see how detailed it is. I also have a tutorial on how to list your property on booking.com, and that is it. So this is the only part that changes depending on where you live. If you're in Uganda, you need to know that you need to know your local regulations. You need to have permission of the landlord. Some landlords don't mind you doing Airbnb from their houses, but others make it a big deal. So make sure that you're in good terms, you're straightforward with a landlord. And then some countries require your tax information, so make sure that if you have that, make sure that you have your tax identification number that is ready for you. Once you list, you can just add that to your listing. And in Uganda, the local rules, you don't really need to check the local rule, especially if you're renting. You may need only just a landlord permission. And in other countries, you may need some paperwork, you may need, I don't know, some cities have different regulations. So make sure that you check with your particular location and make sure that you're compliant with every regulation that is set to run an Airbnb business. Once you're done with that, make sure you clean your place. Clean it well. Make sure that you're always communicating with the guests. Make sure that you set in a check-in process. Keep the place clean, respond to guests, and make the check-in process really easy. This is what keeps your business running smoothly. So in that case, the checklist is basically get a space, set it up, list it. You can list it on the app, you can share it with brokers, you can share it with the real estate companies, and then also make sure that you're legally in check and that you're just ready to go with just 5. So you don't need everything perfect to start. You're just gonna start small, like I've mentioned this very many times. So tomorrow, which is day 2, I'm gonna show you how to actually do the stuff, the action part of it. Things like choosing the right location, things like renting a perfect house, things like how to talk to a landlord, and also the startup costs, as well as how to set up your first listing. So tomorrow we are in the action phase. So tighten your seatbelts and I'll see you tomorrow.